Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. This is Naaman with the DC Camp Ranch of Great Millstone, back for another video. First and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Yahweh, and of course, once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Citations also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways, pushing the truth across the four corners. I also upload numerous videos, all right, to social media to further push the truth out there, all right, in hopes of waking up the remaining hopefully late. So here we have, as you can see by the title, the nerve of some people, right? White man who asked black men to save America. Why? Why, and I have to say it like this, would Jakes in their right mind want to save this bitch? Why?
A couple of days ago, we covered a video of a white gentleman asking black men to come out of our rest and come out and get involved in fixing the mess.
Now, of course, we're not in our rest. Of course, what he means, and what apparently people have noticed since Trump took office, at least since the last election. You don't see Jake out there advocating for anybody. And that's got people worried, because the one thing you can count on was Jake out there. And it's one of those, I don't even want to call it a phenomenon, because it's one of these things that Jake, or let me rephrase that. People were so used to Jake being out there to, how am I going? And after saying this, it's going to make you wonder, but yeah, Jake was like that. They were out there for everybody else's benefit except our own. And people got used to that. Hell, people were, it's like they were dying to get over here just to, oh man, you got the blacks for, yeah, they come over here, and these people are the lower rung of the ladder. They'll advocate for you, even though they don't get nothing for it. And people got so used to that. Now that's not happening. Jake has stepped back collectively. It's like, you know what? No more. We're tired. It's like, well, damn, it took long enough. But this has certain people nervous, because they're asking, well, why? We're so used to these people stepping up for everybody again when they got no benefit from it. Could it be? Let's continue.
That we didn't cause. Because a lot of things that Trump is doing is not making a lot of people comfortable. Definitely the white community isn't comfortable right now with Donald Trump, for sure. It don't matter what side of the political aisle you want to go on. We know Latinos, especially those who are immigrants and don't have their paper right, they're not comfortable. Other immigrants outside of Latinos as well aren't comfortable. The economy isn't where people want it to be. And this man was calling black men in particular, people like myself, to come out of our rest and engage with this administration, get out on the street, do what we did, possibly like we did with George Floyd. Do something really radical, right? So a lot of y'all got on his bumper about that. So now he made another video clarifying what he said and what he really meant when he said that. But let's go ahead and listen to what this gentleman has to say. And as a black man, I want to respond to that.
I guess I should clarify about my request for black men yesterday. My intention was never to put boots on the ground or put black men in harm's way. I believe that what the black community lacks in political power, they make up for with influence, right? So if more black men would have been fussing about this or shaming.
But why should we do it for you? If that's the case, if we had so much clout, why should we do it for you?
White guys into being complicit in this, then more white people would in turn begin talking about it. And all of these people talking about it would then make the government change its course, right? Like, my intention wasn't to scapegoat black men. I didn't realize that that's a possible thing that people would think.
Never
I was
trust your
trying
enemy.
to do. My objective was for black men to, or for black men to use their voice, their very powerful voice, their very influential voice, to make white guys be better than they're being.
What?
And
you know what?
I guess in hindsight, I should have been more clear about that. I was not trying to militarize black men into
No.
No. Like, I just wanted you guys to talk about things that are good and things that are bad. And then maybe white people would do what white people do and appropriate.
You know
Okay,
what?
sir,
Before
so now-
before he gets going, I just thought of something, and it was a movie that just came out. What's the comedian's name? David Greer. And everybody gave him flack for this, but what this guy just said, this Edomite, because again, what I said earlier, they expect, it's like, this is why we exist, all right, to make them, but this is part of the curses, right? To make, but let me get his filmography. Let's see. Damn it. Let's see. Damn it. Where? Well, let's go back. Let's see. List of, okay, here we go. I think this is the latest one. And I know he's in a series, or was in a series, but like I said, everybody got kind of offended. But let's see. Let's see. Wait a minute, I'm going the wrong way. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see, dag, 15 minutes. Let's see, badass, the woodsman. I think I'm going in the right direction. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Damn. Okay, let's see. Here it is. The American Society of Magical Negroes. In the vein of like a Bagger Vance, Will Smith's character that they have. Well, let's just read it. Let's see. The American Society of Magical Negroes is a fresh, satirical comedy about a young man, Aaron, who is recruited into a secret society of magical black people who dedicate their lives to a cause of utmost importance, making white people's lives easier. And I thought about that, and I was like, this the nerve of these motherfuckers. This is what they. This is what they think. That's what they think we're here for. Oh man, I hadn't thought about that because I had never had any intention of seeing that because I read up on it when it came out, and like I said, the critics, such as it were, wow, you can't make this shit up, right? Here we go.
And appropriate.
Okay, sir, so now you have clarified what you was really asking for. And I will tell you, even though you gave a clarification on what you was asking, it's still an issue. Let me explain to you why it's an issue. You see, what you don't understand is that black men and black women are done. That's what a lot of you don't understand. We're done. It's kind of like when you're in a relationship with somebody and you've been abused for a very long time, and you finally get to your point and say, you know what, I have taken the abuse long enough. I can't no more. I'm done. And you finally leave that abusive relationship.
It's like
Thought we were gonna see the world.
Nothing. I'm not gonna say anything.
Long enough. I can't no more. I'm done. And you finally leave that abusive relationship.
Yeah, because that's what it
you
is.
don't go back to it because you're truly done. And what y'all don't understand is Black America is done. We're done. We're not fighting for you or anybody for that matter. I mean, just make sure it's not targeting nobody because because all this fighting that we've been doing for years, we have neglected our families. We've neglected our children, our community.
Again, part of those curses, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy. All right. Now, I went over this in my last video to some extent. So pardon me if it's going to be, a few of the same scriptures. But again, this is part of our punishment. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's look up consternation. All right. Hold on. Consternation. Here it is. Astonishment combined with terror. All right. That even links up with the 65th verse in this same chapter here. Dismay, confusion. All right. Perplex. All right. Thrown down. And we are in a lower state again. And this is our punishment for turning our backs on Yahweh Shem Yahushai and his law, statutes, and commandments. This is part of that. Let's go back to some of the more. Let's see. All right. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. All right. And thou shalt, verse 37, become an astonishment. Again, there goes that word. Astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whether the Most High Yahweh shall lead thee. All right. And thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. All right. And that ties with verse 17. All right. Store and a basket. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat it. All right, another one that links up with the first two, and when the curses began. Let's see. 43, these immigrants, these people that are allowed to come and set up shop and prosper off of us. All right, and it says 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Most High Yahweh thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed. What is seed? And upon thy seed. All right, Strong's H2233. All right, Zerai, fruit, plant, sowing time, posterity, as in what? Children. All right. So this is a generational thing. All right. It says forever, because thou servest not the Most High. Again, this is being repeated. There's cause and effect. All right. Because thou servest not the Most High Yahweh thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. This is what it's come to. when we go back to verse 37 about us being an astonishment again, uh, th- and it's like people just, hey, let's go to America with those blacks, they're so uh, they're so welcoming, and it just everybody can come, even though we know who's really at fault, the Birdman hands kind of thing, because they set all this in motion, even with this, and that's going to be another video with this African Union bullshit that's crept up, and them trying to prosper off of us. Is like, wait a minute, you sold us, you got rid of us, and now you're trying to steal from us. I mean, it's getting people more and more people are catching on to this. But anyway, that's another video. Let's concentrate here. It says, because our service not the Most High Yahweh with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Most High shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and want of all things. Yes, we got to go to our most hated enemy. Actually, enemies, plural. But the main one, of course, is the nation of Edom, the so-called white people, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon their neck until he have destroyed it. All right, and it goes on from there. But let's go back to the video. Hey, as scripture said, we deserve worse, right?
We've neglected. We've been so neglectful that we haven't even gotten our own politicians who are black in line to make sure they're doing what's right by the black community. We have so much work to do internally in the black community, especially with that black politician.
That's why it also says you're supposed to take care of home first, right? But again, the curses. Again, this is not our rest. This is, again, I said in my last video, we should have treated it again, but we're under the curses, as pilgrims. And it tells us to do that, all right? If you're exercising wisdom, which, of course, that's another issue. But, let me, hold on.
And that black preacher, one of the two stumbling blocks of black America.
Yep.
We don't have time to really go engage other.
Because that preacher, that pulpit pimp, he was set up so you'll be just like you are, you Christians. You never thought for once, hey, maybe, hold on. It's a strategy on the enemy's part. All right, he's not interested in your salvation. You were brought over here to serve as free labor, as a slave. And whether you're still under the illusion that you can actually go to school and educate yourself out of the condition that you're in, like a lot of our people, unfortunately. And yet we're out here on the highways and byways trying to tell you what has actually been going on. But I can just about guarantee you, if so-called white people are out there doing what we are doing, you will believe them. You would believe. In fact, scripture tells you that. Let's go to Ezekiel. This is how twisted our people are. Let's go to Ezekiel 3. Let's start at the top. It says, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. These scriptures. All right. That's the roll. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, all right, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. And he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee into the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of an hard language, but to the house of Israel. Not to many people of a strange speech and of an hard language, whose words thou canst not understand. Surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee. Yes, everybody wants this except for the people it's actually for. Wow. He says, but to the house of Israel, But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Let's look at that impudent. Let me move my mug out the way. Let's see. Strong's H2389. Kazakh. Strong, hard, bold, loud, mighty, sore, stiff. There you go. That pride. All right. It says, for all the houses impudent and hard-hearted. It's repeating itself. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Because, hey, we have to be in order to be out there to do what we do. All right. It says, as an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. This is how we know, because it says, all right, it prophesied how you would be towards us, your own. And there are other scriptures to address this. As far as a prophet not being accepted, all right, amongst his own. All right. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words, all right, that I shall speak unto thee, receive in thine heart, and hear with thine ears, and go, get thee to them of the captivity, which is us, unto the children of thy people, and speak unto them, and tell them, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. All right. So, hey, we're doing what we're commanded to do, and later on, which I will get, it tells you this is what? Verses 17 through 19, we're getting the blood off of our hands. All right. That's what we're doing here. All right. You have been warned. All right. We're on that, we're the watchmen on that wall, you know. You choose not to hearken to the warning, that's on you, but we're warning you.
We don't have time to really go engage other people. And that's the thing. When we were doing that, and I'm not saying you, maybe you appreciated it, but others within your general community or the white American community, they never appreciated it.
Nope.
We say, hey, we need reparations in the form of cash payments. Your general community basically says, I don't want to do it. I don't support it. Your politicians in your community don't support it. It don't matter if they're Democrat or Republican. Republicans don't support it, and Democrats don't support it. And they're supposed to be our ally, right? The white liberal, supposed to be our ally.
Nope.
They don't even support reparations in the form of cash payment.
The fox and the wolf.
The Democrats up here go do an anti-Asian hate crime bill, but when black people need something, every time it's black and Asian, black and Latino, black and LGBT. But when it's time for other groups, they just give it to them.
Yeah.
When on the FBI stats, sir, every year black Americans lead as victims of hate crimes. Even the same year with the rise of Asian hate crimes, black Americans were still overrepresented.
All these Jake truckers missing. It's not being broadcast. You have to go to selective sites in order for those who, you know, two that I go to, all right, that keep, you know, anyway, you know, keeping their nose to the grindstone as far as that's concerned, you know, letting you know, hey, these sundown towns, you know, these people ain't playing around here. And they got one that Jake, he got like stranded, and the people, cause he's standing in front of the tree, and the white lady passed him. You sure? I'm trying to remember her words verbatim, but something about you look good hanging from that tree or some shit like that. And he was like, what? And he tried to call his boy to get out. I mean, you could just hear the say, yeah, you tough guy. All right. But in any case, yeah. And you see how they're quick to dismiss anything related as such, you know, lynching. The guy who was in Albany, New York, a couple of months ago, maybe a little bit longer, he was found hanging from a tree. See, all this, again, in one of my last videos, I stressed the fact that in incidents where it's economics are bad that has been a catalyst for these incidents of lynchings. All right, if you go back and study, uh, when you had this, uh, what started these episodes of these lynchings, hey, it's related to economics, and we didn't have any protection then, and they're loath to do so now, as you can see. All right, everybody gets protection, even this man just going out of his way to stress. And I listened to the conference this morning, press conference from the new D.C. attorney, U.S. attorney here for the district. The TV personality, what's her name? Piro is her last name. I was never a fan of hers or even of her show. I just know her in passing. Is it Janine, or some shit like that? Piro. Trump appointed her. So they got these two juveniles, Jake, of course, that I know is a third one that they're trying to round up. But the staffer, 21-year-old Edomite, of course, a few months back that was killed in a crossfire. So, with all that's going on here, and again, they go to great lengths, and sometimes not. Jake is a lot of times just stuck on stupid, but they let you know your place or our place, and for the longest time trying to get Jake, hey, chill out with this shit. But now you got this cowboy in office, and those surrounding him, believe it or not, may be worse. So if something happened to him, oh my goodness. Just saying. All right. Back to the video.
And we didn't get a hate crime? See what Joe Biden did?
Yeah.
At that time?
Neither one is for
He opened up the eyes of a lot of black people about the Democrat Party and how they're anti-black. You understand? So we have taken a step back. And I understand you seeing things going to hell. I get it. Oh, sir, I get it. The Democrat Party is lost without us. They lost. Have y'all seen that? They're completely lost. They don't know what to do without us. This whole country don't know what to do without us. That's why they trying to get us in the street to fight. Because at least if we're fighting, hey, that's at least pulling something from us. But as a black man, I cannot in good conscience.
What's the point in getting super hard down there if you're not even in the mood for sex?
Yeah, actually, I guess that does.
Not in good conscience. Fight for anybody else anymore. I can't do it. And my people aren't being taken care of. Now, if you want to settle things and make things right,
they're not.
Then we're asking for simple tangibles. Reparations in the form of cash payments. Look, y'all spent $4 trillion with a T.
Isaiah
$4
42
trillion
and 22.
during the pandemic. Like this. It wasn't a study. It wasn't research. It wasn't anything. It was, we need to spend this money. And you did it. And you know what that showed us? Oh, you can do reparations anytime you get good and ready.
Yeah.
See, you have to look at the black men and say, wait a minute, those men in particular, out of all men, have been the most ostracized and harmed men in this country. They don't get paid right for their work. They want to provide homes for their families. Our community is over the banks. We don't give them loans. Even if they do qualify, we're trying to find some little loophole to not give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
When they start a business, or them and their wives start business, they need business loans. We don't give them that.
Going back to what I said earlier about that's one of the curses, right? Deuteronomy 28 and 43. Let's go there real quick. Remember what I said in passing about the immigrants being set up shop? Well, who do you think's behind all that? Let's see, 43. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. There was a method to their madness when they destroyed all of our businesses that we had built up. Remember Black Wall Street, Wilmington, North Carolina, and so many other areas across these states. Uh, Lake Lanier, somebody else just died there, an Edomite. What was it, Oscarville, that was flooded. And now all these white folk get to go there on vacation and, literally swimming on top of graves of our people. And it's a wonderful thing that they keep coming back and keep losing their lives. It's beautiful, But that, again, let me get real quick. Let me finish this. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Look at all these businesses in our neighborhood. All right, they're able to get loans. All right, we're not, and we've been here. These are the curses that we're under, and until they're taken off, no matter how much school you got, no matter how many times you win the lottery, your people are not going to prosper. Period. Until these curses are lifted. That helps, as it says down here, identify who's who. All right, it says, moreover, verse 45, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. Why? Because of what we did. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And these curses, they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. This is where we're looked at like, damn, those people, is that wherever we are in the world, we're so fucked up. This is why. And in the eyes of these other people, say, what's wrong with these people? These are the curses that were put upon us. The real Israelites. Again, verse 46, and these curses shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed, thy children, thy children's children, etc., forever, because thou servest not the Most High thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. We want to do and be everything else. That's why when you go to Deuteronomy, chapter we're in now, but the beginnings of it, it tells you not to do those things in the lands of the other people that we went to. And what did we do? All these other gods. We want to be like everybody else. And this is why we're in the predicament that we're in now. There's something called
business loans,
cause and effect.
We don't give them
it's
that.
So simple. Cause and effect. Simple physics. There's a reason. And you go to these piece of shit churches that happen to be on every corner that are set up to lie to you. They go to the schools of the enemy to learn their bullshit and tell you. And you trust in these people because they got a degree in what? That very statement there tells you what? Degree, that's Masonic. And I just read to you all these, this is why we're in the condition that we're in, all these witchcrafts and shit that we participate in. Cap and gown, the Masonic square, all that's witchcraft.
The SBA try to get loans through them sometime. We don't get that. And all these entities are controlled by people in your community, sir. So we're looking at all the sabotage. We're looking at the history. We're looking at everything.
Sabotage.
Every time we've helped y'all, let's go with.
I said in one of my last videos, that's why I always carry this book with me. It's a little book. It's called How White Folks Got So Rich. And it gives you, line by line, all the bullshit that they did to sabotage us. It's not a conspiracy. It's not a dream. They systematically, every step that we tried in bettering ourselves, they sabotage. And then turn around and make mockery of you and blame you for not trying harder, not working harder. And all the time they sit back laughing because they know it's like, what was that thing that on that fake wrestling? What's the guy, Ted DiBiase? We had this black kid. He said he'd give him so much money if he were to continually bounce the ball like 15 times in a row, something like that. And when he got to like 12 or 13, he kicked the ball out of his hand. That's the type of shit I'm talking about.
Back to the Revolutionary War. We helped y'all. And we helped y'all to get off the plantation. What did y'all do? Y'all put us right back on the plantation for helping y'all.
Yep.
Now, the second time...
Watch what salt does to blood pressure.
Everything we've been told about salt and blood pressure might be dead wrong.
Put us right back on the plantation for helping y'all. Now, the second time around we helped y'all, okay, we got off the plantation. But then after Reconstruction, after 10 years, we were sabotaged again by your community, sir. Then went into the Jim Crow era. That should have never happened. Because we helped y'all defeat the South in the Civil War. Every time we try to help y'all, we go fight wars, come back home and still being called the N-word, fight wars, and some of our brothers were put in trees, you know what I mean, in a military uniform, sir, fighting for America, black men. Black men have fought in every conflict this country has had, and black men are still not respected, sir. We're still not respected for the sacrifices we made for America, for even building America.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to come to us because you're just a little not comfortable because Donald Trump making things not comfortable for you.
And this is only...
And the man hadn't even been in office.
What? 7 months now? This is September? Wait a minute. The 20th would be 8 months? Yeah.
This long and you're not comfortable. And my Lord, the man been in office, what, about going on 9 months now? And because you just not comfortable in the past 9 months, now you're freaking out? Then I read brothers and sisters was telling them, hey, you know, why don't you get white guys out there to do it? I mean, why are you asking us? And he said, well, the reason why he's asking black people, as he said in the video, is that because we have a voice and we have influence. And we have been using our voice and influence for ourselves. And it's time for us to use our voice and our influence for ourselves. And if we're going to advocate for anything at this stage in the game, it has to be transactional. We need our reparations fees at this point. We got to get our reparations fees. We got to get them payments, man. Listen, y'all pay reparations? Man, our relationship will change. I'm telling you, we say, okay, well, man, white America actually show they mean business about making it right. But trust me, black folks don't want to battle with you.
They're the wicked. They're not.
We got a whole lot more things to do in our life than battling with you and anybody else in your community.
That would be contrary to their nature. They're not going to do that. All right. That's Wisdom of Solomon, 2nd chapter. They're contrary. They're contraries, plural. You know, Job 30th chapter. All right. They're fools.
But we cannot just overlook the 400+ year beef that's been going on. We can't do that. We have been saving y'all ever since you got here.
Yep.
And it's time for you to stand on your own 2 feet.
Yep.
We're not going to be holding up America forever. That's not our job. Because we never was appreciated for it. We never was put in any kind of position of power. We had our own towns. Listen, towns. And y'all made sure to destroy them. We would say, look, we going our own towns out of your way. You ran highways.
And fooled so many of our people by Obama. Obama is not our people. Never was. He is an actual Hamite. What some people call African. We were never African or Hamites. So you were fooled into electing that guy. And what did he do? He didn't do nothing for you. He did everything for the LGBTQ because you were tricked into electing him for him to do that and bail out the banks. And you didn't get it the first time, so you helped elect him the second time, and he still didn't do anything for you. Wow.
Through our towns, or good neighborhoods and business districts, You eminent domain, a lot of our stuff. Land was stolen from us in the millions of acres of land in this country. This country is big enough for black people to have their own land. And your community, sir, has done everything possible to sabotage the progress of black men.
Mm-hmm.
It's called on black men.
Put women over
So
us.
why should we go help your community
Yeah, it's not going to benefit
when
us.
you haven't even made things right with ours? I mean, it's only fair, right? It's just only fair what I'm talking about.
It's only fair. Again, you're thinking, let's go. You're asking for. Let's just get this. This is Psalms 43:1. Again, one of my favorites when it pertains to these Edomites here. It says, "Judge me, O Most High, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation." That's who you're dealing with. Do you expect them to do any good? "Oh, deliver me from the deceitful and unjust man." All right, unjust. What do you think that was? Let's go to deceitful first. Marama. It says craft, deceit. Psalms 83. All right. False, feigned, guile, subtlety, treachery. This is how he's dealt with Northern Kingdom. When you think of Gad, all the treaties, each one he broke. And you wonder why he would deal with us any different when we're the same people. And unjust. Strong's H5766. All right. Iwal. Iniquity, sin, perverseness. This is who you're dealing with. Wicked. What you get? All hot and bothered and the Supreme Court. The Supreme. Oh, wow. Wow. He's copying off of Israel. This whole setup. Because that's what he does. All right? They are no people, you know. They all their existence, they've imitated others and their customs. You know.
Made things right with ours. I mean, it's only fair, right? It's just only fair what I'm talking about. It's just fair. You may say, well, I'm an individual. What can I do? A whole lot. You can go talk to your fellow brethren. You can get some things started. You can get a movement started about reparations in the form of cash payments. If it's not in the form of cash payments, it's not reparations. You understand?
No, because he's looking, if he were to do it, he wants to do it in a way that he's still going to benefit from it. All right. And that brings me to the next scripture that I'm glad I waited. This is Isaiah 42. I mentioned in passing earlier, and 22, and it says, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled." Who? Us. The true Israelites. They are all of them snared in holes. What are those holes? And they are hid in prison houses. After child slavery was the first thing they did to take advantage of the 13th Amendment. Remember those little words in there about slavery, unless you're convicted of a crime? Why was that allowed to stay in there? It says they are for a prey, which we are, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore, because they do not want it. Again, I have to repeat this. All the instances where we built our own towns and settlements to get away from these motherfuckers, they found a way to sabotage it. Some excuse. Well, he looked at a white woman the wrong way, or he raped. That was their favorite. You know, if you remember seeing Rosewood, and also Tulsa. They always call it a riot. No, it was a massacre. All right. Anything to make sure we will not progress, not prosper. So we couldn't establish generational wealth. And they still want to, well, they're so lazy. All the immigrants, not all of them, but a lot of the Moabites, the so-called Chinese, they were, told, they said, well, when we first came over here, they told us, you're not to have any dealings with the blacks because they're violent and they're lazy and all this. Even some Cushites / Ethiopians, they say the same thing. So all this is by design. And yet, everybody else they prioritize as far as aid. Even these Europeans, they have these, the thing now that's going on is with these Armenians, and they're being compensated for the genocide that happened with the Ottoman Empire or the Turks during World War One and right thereafter. What does that have to do with here? The Ukrainians, they came over here, they get on Social Security. We got Jakes out on the street here. We have veterans that are still out on the streets here. They can't get help. And this is why people are pissed off now. Ukraine, aside from all the aid that goes to the fake Israel, it's sad. It's so very sad. People keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe, especially our people.
Reparations. You understand? That's what you can do. Or the people that think like you, who are in your community, y'all get together and fight for these reparations. Remember, y'all still have a privilege in this country.
None of these political organizations, be they Democrat or Republican, we fell for it. Again, none of them have our best interest at heart. They never did. All you have to do when it comes to the Democrats is listen to Lyndon Johnson. He told you. But no, motherfuckers are on that Democratic plantation. I mean, it's like, and you gave your vote for nothing. Nothing. When the smart thing to do was be independent and say, what are you going to do for us? And have them do it. Not just make empty promises. Make sure they do it. They don't. Well, you might fool me the first time, but you don't know. But no, you just want to vote Democrat to vote Democrat. That's fucking idiotic. Especially when you've never gotten anything. What, a fucking holiday? What the fuck is that? And now they're telling you in your face, we're not doing anything for you, but we will do it for the immigrants. Illegal at that. Illegal at that. They're not citizens, you are. That whole thing about allowing them just to come across the border, that was for them to establish another voting bloc because they knew that Jakes here were getting tired of the bullshit. So they never intended to give you anything. They were looking to overstep you. And Claude Anderson back in the mid-90s warned about this, Dr. Claude Anderson. And I got 2 of his books. I had the 3rd one. I lost it somehow. Black Labor, White Wealth. I lost that one, but I got the other 2. But he told you in his Powernomics presentations what was going to happen. And he warned, if you never got anything as number 2, what do you think you're going to get being number 3 or number 4? Because all these other groups that are coming over here, all right, they're letting you know they're actually doing things for them, but not for us. Why is that?
You can get a lot more done with your voice than I can on reparations.
Struggling to find hot-selling products for your business? Meet Axio, Alibaba.com's.
More done with your voice than I can on reparations. But no, we're not doing nothing, and that's indefinitely. We're not doing anything. We gotta focus within first. That's been our problem. We're always fighting for this, fighting for that, and I know it's freaking y'all out that we're not out there doing that. But come on, we're human. We're not perpetual. We're not slaves. We're not machines. We're not any of that. We're human, and we gotta worry about ourselves for a change. Other groups coming to this country. They do. You know why some groups get past us? Because they're not fighting all the time.
Exactly.
They say agents do so much better. Well, agents ain't fighting everything. Agents not worrying about anything. Agents come in here and they got a goal of getting their bag, getting their education, getting their bag, getting themselves set up. When you're not fighting somebody all the time, you got.
And the funny thing about those agents, they they got tricked by Ed Blum into filing that lawsuit to end affirmative action. And hey, they got it done. You know, they fell for the lie, and now they're having admissions problems. We told you. But see, a lot of us that understand what's going on, we never benefited from all that shit anyway. All right? Affirmative action, DEI. It was the white woman that benefited most. That's a fact. And that's how it was set up, because even though he gives you something, he creates a back door to where he can also benefit. So that's why we were, laughing, because you tricked yourself, fucking Asians and shit,
Got time to work in your business. You got time to work in your career. You got time to go to school. When you're sitting up here getting beat up all the time, you're out here fighting everything and fighting for other people. That's why other groups can come in this country and get ahead of us. You look at even Africans. Africans say, well, we're doing better than you because you're not fighting anything. And I'm not saying, now technically, if you look at 43 million people, definitely not. It's not enough of you. But still, in a lot of instances, when they say that, it's because they're not fighting anything. They're not protesting. They're not dealing with these folks.
And there was a report that came out that told the truth of this. Harvard, in order for them, they purposely recruited people from Africa so they wouldn't have to deal with us here in the States. That was strategy on their part. Yeah, that actually happened. Again, not a conspiracy theory. They admitted it. We are the enemy. All right? And they do not want to compensate us for the wrongs of which they have done. But they are, because Revelation 13:10 tells you they themselves are our reparations. Just as they did to us, we're going to do to them, but double, as it says in Revelation 18 chapter. So I don't worry about reparations, because what did I just read you in Psalms 43 and 1? You're dealing with an ungodly nation and an unjust man, so you can forget it.
Like we dealing with them. Latinos too. They say, oh, well, Latinos doing this because they're not fighting anything. They leave that up to us, and then we stay. Now we are collectively rich, we are, but individually poor. A lot of us. No, we want to get our bag like the rest of y'all. We want to go to school. We want to open up our businesses. We want to take vacation. We want to have a good time like all other groups. So it's somebody else's turn to go fight now. It's your turn, sir. It's everybody else's turn to go fight. We want to benefit off of somebody else's fight for a change. We didn't put in our part in America. We've done our part, sir. We've done our part. It's time for y'all to step up. We've given you the blueprint. Go look at all the video, read all the books that we ever came out with. You can read my book, my new book, Us versus the Machine, How Anti-Black Racism Was Programmed, Marketed, and Made to Survive. You can go read that in Amazon.com. Get that blueprint and get out there and fight. But we done our part. That's it. Like I said, nothing against you. Your heart may be in the right place, but we just got to give you the education why some of us took issue with that. Okay? So, yeah. I know it's a new day and time for everybody. They're not used to us being this way, but they better get used to it, baby. The civil rights generation, they're not here. And the ones that are still here, they really up in age now. They didn't done their part. They fought in their time period. It's not for them to be fighting anymore. It's not for them to be on the front line anymore. And sometimes being on the front line is actually being in your house. Because sometimes you have to let America implode on itself. And that's sometimes the best medicine. Because see, when it's imploding on itself, they can't attack us. because they're doing it to themselves. We suffer all the time. So, the food price is high. Yeah, it been high for black people. Oh, we losing our jobs. We've been losing our jobs. Oh, they taking our cars. We can't pay for it. We all had cars repoed. You be all right. But I had to cancel my vacation to Aruba because of I lost my job. A lot of us never even been to Aruba. You was going every other year to Aruba. You was going cruises and everything. A lot of us ain't done it. Welcome to our world. But y'all have to step up, because we done. We done. Because we never got appreciated and never got our reparations. To give us our reparations in the form of cash payments and land and everything else that's owed to us.
But see, that's something else that they fear, because right or wrong, however you look at it, they fear that if that were to happen, a lot of us would leave and go anywhere else but here. And like he said earlier, you know, they're so used to having us fix everything for them, all right? And that goes to why we're here in the first place, to serve slavery, to serve bondage, because of what we did. They don't want to lose that. I said many videos ago about us being that proverbial goose that lays a golden egg. They don't want to give us up, just like Pharaoh, ancient Egypt did. You know, we built those treasure cities and everything for them. The same thing here. All right? There's no new thing under the sun, right?
Then maybe we can have a different conversation. But until then, we done.
All right, so there you go. Yeah. I hope whoever views this video has been edified. That's what we do here at Great Millstone. And once again, remain circumspect. Keep that head on a swivel out there, especially now. So until the next video, shalom.